DJ, engineer. Which one comes first in that order?
I guess producer/engineer, because I do that simultaneously in studio most of the time.
Okay.
And then secondly would be DJ.
DJ is second. Okay. And is it true that DJs get paid just to press buttons? Just press play. The saying that I heard about when I was in school last year, and it's done is better than perfect. Because perfect sometimes doesn't get done. Because you are busy. They're trying, no. Let me tweak it here. I can make it better. I think it helped you because it helped develop a reputation of you producing quality from your studio, right? You were known. Anyone that wanted quality in Timbisa knew they needed to go to. And you haven't even said the name of your brand. And I don't know if you are intentionally hiding it from the people. What's the name of your setup?
So there's different doors. There you have your
FL Studio,
Cubase.
Reason was big at the time.
Reason was
I don't know if it's Reason still big.
Pun intended. You said no name dropping. Or whatever the case was. We've never really had an investor or whatever the case. So we needed to find
You
a
never
balance.
did?
No, never.
No, shit.
Never. I've never had an investor ever in anything that
For real?
No.
Damn, you guys moved different then. Because I remember there was a time where you guys were, and I think that was the intentional push.
Yeah.
You guys were showing up next to the biggest names in the country. I remember when you guys started, there was a promo that you guys did. And then it was Boo, it was Pro, it was Questa. Who else was there in that promo? So that's mixing. What's the difference between mixing and mastering now?
Mastering is pretty much enhancing and widening,
Okay.
Really opening it up,
Yeah.
Making it like pretty much what we now hear as a final product.
Okay.
Usually you'll never hear a song that's not mastered on radio, but like there's a huge genre now that doesn't get mastered, and that's our culture in South Africa. And that let's make sure these things are in line and you are centered and you are living in the present, because you have no control over the past and you have no control over the future. The past only brings you depression, and the future only brings you anxiety. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just focus on that. The only real thing that's important is the experience of life and the journey. And whatnot, like it's not really that, it's life.
It's life. That's why this is called 9 to Life.
It's
not a mistake.
Yes, 9 to Life. yes. And that's the reality, So let's live and not survive.
It's 9 to Life. It's 9 to Life. It's 9 to Life. It's 9 to Life.
Countdown. 3, 2. Am I doing my own countdown? Somewhere and chance.
5,
4,
3, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 9 to Life, your career and life journey podcast where we interview the interesting people doing the things you'd like to do but didn't know that you could. I am your host, Lesego Muela, and I'm here with Shakespear Nkosi.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, my brother.
Thank you.
Shakespear is a producer, DJ, engineer. Which one comes first in that order?
I guess producer/engineer, because I do that simultaneously in studio most of the time.
Okay.
And then secondly would be DJ.
DJ is second. Okay. And is it true that DJs get paid just to press buttons? Just press play.
I think it's slightly false if you actually think about it.
Okay.
Because there's a reason why they also called the selector. It's a courtesy when you're actually mixing it.
Yeah.
But like a selector needs to have an idea of what kind of crowd am I dealing with?
Yeah.
How am I trying to entertain them? What emotion am I trying to give them today? And all that stuff, you know what I mean? So DJs actually do a little bit more work than people actually think they do.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Because you need to go behind the booth, the DJ booth, and try doing that so that you realize that it's not child's play. They can easily
it's not as easy as it
a
looks.
bottle.
Yeah.
They're like, no, dog, you're messing up the vibe.
I like that. We'll get into it a bit more.
Yes, sir.
But usually we start the episode with an origin story. Just trying to understand who is this person that's sitting in front of us, where they came from, their upbringing, and how they ended up being the person that they are today. Give us your origin story, my brother. Who are you? Where are you from? How did you grow up?
Okay, I'm from Timbisa.
That's Lamakasi.
You already know. Ziyabuya mada.
Aha.
Top 3 heaviest hood in
Yeah.
the country.
Aha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, those that
so-
know, they know.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff
Yeah.
there, but what I like to say is that I was not necessarily raised by Timbisa.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know if it's nature or nurture, but I've always been a lot in my brain up
Yeah.
until I started with this whole music thing and studio thing.
Mm.
And my personality had to be like more outward.
Yeah.
You know, more things external started affecting me. But I
Okay.
come from Timbisa, and yeah, man, I was literally raised by Umakoko,
Yes.
by old lady.
Mm.
Simultaneously, you know what I mean? And there's a very big influence that comes from my uncle, go music,
Yeah.
type of thing, late uncle, may
Yeah.
his soul rest in peace.
R.I.P. to the uncle.
Yeah, and then I started, working on music, I think 2010. Prior to that, I had friends that were already working on music, like Uliseko, he won't tell you, I know this.
Don't expose me like that, my
I
brother.
know
That's the
also
past life.
from a very, very long time. There's another very close friend of mine who's Utlada.
Yeah.
Well, used to work very closely, very
Very
close to you.
Yeah.
And that was before 2010.
Yes.
And
That's why when you say 2010, I'm like, no, man. It wasn't. It was before.
that's when I actually made a decision.
Ah,
2010.
okay,
But
okay.
before, I
Yeah.
was actually surrounded by
musicians. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hence, 2010, after high school,
Yeah.
I was like, man, Abuliseko out here going to my new town to record, Binoni to
Yeah.
record, whatnot. No one is really doing it in Timbisa. I think there were
Facts.
2 studios that were doing it, but like maybe not really
Yeah.
type of thing.
They were not as accessible. They were not as
Yes.
accessible. I can tell you
Yes.
that for free. Yeah.
So I would like to say with I'm 60% business minded
Yeah.
and 40%, arts inclined and whatnot.
Hence PA Foundation. You remember PA Foundation?
I remember that very, very well. We actually need to do that.
We need to
but
do that thing, man.
yes,
Anyways, fine. We'll talk about it
yes.
after. Yeah.
So the business mind in
Yeah.
me noticed a gap, a potential.
Yeah.
So I also like to mention that my real talent is not in music itself or whatever
Mm-hmm.
else that I really specialize in, but like it's in noticing potential. I'm very good at that and it comes
Right.
naturally.
Right.
So I noticed, nah, man, koni gap la.
Yeah.
And makoni gap ngaina. What's so hard about? Yeah, we need money, of course, but like,
Yeah.
what's so hard about like getting a microphone?
Yeah.
Putting acoustics in a certain room, getting a proper computer.
I remember your first mic. It was that Samson C1.
That was my second.
That was your second mic.
Yes, the first mic was a dynamic microphone, a performance microphone.
Yes. So
Yeah.
for those that don't know, there's something called a dynamic microphone, which is
Mhm.
more for performances
Mhm.
because it cuts out certain frequencies, and then there's a condenser mic.
Correct.
That's the one that's used in the studio. And I
Right.
think the first time I saw a condenser mic in
Mm.
my life was at your studio.
For real.
For real.
That's crazy.
For real,
bro.
yeah.
That's crazy. you
But
know?
before we get into it, you are skipping past. I want us to take me to high school. What type of person was Shakes in high school, and what did Shakes want to be then?
I definitely always knew from a very young age, even before high school,
Yeah.
that I wanted to be a pioneer. I want to pioneer something of
You
some
need to-
nature.
You need to be the first in something.
Yeah, I want to create something.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? I always knew that, and then
You've always been a creative, ne?
yes.
Yeah,
From I was playing Jesus when I was 6 years old in
In
prison.
the school bed.
You know what I mean? Yes. I've always been out here.
Sure.
But like it was like a side thing because
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. However, I was very introverted.
Mm.
If I could put it like that, I was very introverted in high school.
Mm.
But ironically, all my friends were extroverts. Everyone that I gravitated towards me
Yes.
were extroverts.
Right.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
really messed with my company and vice versa type
Yeah.
of thing. And hence, they were musicians. They were
Mhm.
popular people.
Yes.
And I was just this guy that's keeping quiet. Bengkang, Mara, bengkang angajampies.
Ukanga nje in the corner,
Bengkang busy officing. You know what I mean?
So they never knew.
They never knew. I had a
I
persona
see.
that was like very introverted,
Yeah.
and I didn't really think about that. But like,
Okay.
benjalo,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I've always been ambitious. High school, I ended up being popular-ish in a way, but like that was never the aim. There's nothing particular that I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But because I guess of the people that I attracted and the people that I was attracted to,
Yeah.
all my friends and so on.
Yeah. But you've always been a stand-up guy, really, straight and narrow type of. I remember even in your uniform at school, you always made sure that your uniform was on point.
Yeah, from fair.
I've known you, man.
So
I've
when you
known
talk about that, you talk about brand,
Yeah.
right? Obviously, I only caught on to that like now recently.
Yes. Or
But,
which what it's actually called.
yeah.
But you've always sort of aligned yourself
From
to
a very
certain-
young age. From a very,
Yeah.
very young age. I remember in grade 2, bro.
Yeah.
I changed schools. Grade 1, I was in Treasure King. Then
Yes.
grade 2, I went to Captain Park
Kempton.
Primary.
Yes.
When I went to Captain Park Primary, it took me like 3 months
Yeah.
to really settle in and be a
Yeah.
proper kid.
Yes.
Because Makshayi break, I would chill right outside class, estulweni, watch the kids play. You know,
that
and
adjustment period.
eat my lunch, make sure my collar is like I'm clean, my shoes, no dust.
Yeah.
whatnot. And I've always been like that, like
Yes.
from a very young
I've
age, you know.
known you, yeah.
I don't know if it's how I was raised or
Yeah.
whatever the case, but like I've always been like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah, I kind of appreciate that thing about me, and
Yeah.
I started realizing it actually became like a very important thing now
Yeah.
that I've grown into this space. Type
Yeah.
of thing, you know what I mean?
It became associated with you as a brand, fellow. With Shakespeare is that
Yes,
I
yes.
love
There's a very big level of perfectionism
Yeah.
that I had to work on as I grew, because I started realizing, oh snap, I'm a perfectionist, but like this holds me back half the time.
it does.
You know what I mean? Because nothing is ever proper, nothing is ever correct, nothing is
Yeah.
ever completed, whatever the case.
Yeah.
And that whole brand thing
Yeah.
comes from that too. Like I always wanted things to be 100% correct. But like I started realizing that's not reality.
Yeah.
Like life is living, life is making mistakes, life is experiencing.
Yeah.
You know, it's not surviving or trying to, you know.
There's a saying that I heard about when I was in school last year, and it's done is better than perfect.
Uh-huh.
Because perfect sometimes doesn't get done. Because you are busy there trying, no. Let me tweak it here. I can make it better. You know, I think it helped you because it helped develop a reputation of you producing quality from your studio, right? You were known. Anyone that wanted quality in Timbisa knew they needed to go to. And you haven't even said the name of your brand. And I don't know if you are intentionally hiding it from the people. What's the name of your setup?
Seventh Wave Records and Entertainment.
Seventh Wave Entertainment.
And there's a meaning behind that name.
I never really. Okay, talk about it. I never knew there was a meaning behind the name. Or maybe I forgot.
So
Mind.
So 7 is like a very special number.
Yes.
You can refer to the Bible, you can
The
refer
Bible.
to science, you can refer to so many things. But like 7, in any way, like when you calculate it, it's gonna give you a perfect number. If you go spiritual, it's gonna give you a perfect number. So it's a perfect number, you know, and it's a very spiritual number. You know, it stands for perfection.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Aha. So perfection became your brand.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So wave.
Yeah.
Waves is music. You know, music is waves. So
Yeah.
this is the 7 wave.
Seventh
Because music already existed before we even started doing this.
Yeah.
But like now, this music that we're making is the 7.
It's the perfect way.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that was the whole thing behind it. You know what I mean? And also at that time, I'm not 100% sure, but like, I think Manje, it's like nine wonders of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there was a point where it's like 7 wonders of the
Yes.
world. You know,
There was 7th wonder, and then people became 8, and then there was the 8th one. I think there's 9 now. Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
correct. So at that time I think it was
Or it
called
was also
7
aligned.
7 wonders of the world. So it's you know, we're ambitious, bro. You know what I mean?
Before ambition.
Yeah.
Record.
I'm not dropping no names.
No, don't worry, my brother. That's my job, but I don't mind dropping
Right,
names
right,
on
right,
this
right,
platform.
right.
Okay, let's go back to now after high school. You never studied sound engineering.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Self-taught everything. Klanta did.
Klanta did.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it was my partner.
Shout
in
out
Seventh
to
Wave.
Tusek.
Tuse Kudlanza, Nora Belani. Those were
Yeah.
the 2 people that I actually started. Yes, we started it
He
together.
was the engineer when you started 7th Wave, right?
Rabelani and Klanta.
Yes.
Yes, Klanta was also on
And
beat
Klanta was
and
more
whatnot.
artist though. He was
My
more
whole
on
thing was to be a
artist side.
producer, bro, not
Yeah.
even an engineer. You know what I
Really?
mean? Yeah, because I had concepts. I always had ideas. You know, like as I said, potential. I'm able to see something before it can actually become.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be in the studio just chilling there, like, oh, he's nice like this.
Yeah.
How about we try that and do that?
Yeah.
That's what we were doing initially,
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah.
But obviously, as you're building and whatnot, we needed consistency. And sometimes my boy is not in studio and we have someone that needs to work. So I can't be there and be like, ish, one banagaya. So I need to find ways. And I think late 2010, I had already understood the software and the doors and how everything works. I hadn't mastered it, but like I knew what has to happen.
What's a DAW for the people at home?
A DAW is a recording software.
Yeah. What does it stand for?
Oh my God, bro.
Digital audio workstation. What is it? Yeah. Digital
That's
audio
incorrect.
workstation. It's not.
I'm joking, bro.
Okay,
Yes, yes,
sure,
yes,
okay.
yes. It's exactly that.
Yeah.
So there's different doors. There you have your
FL Studio.
Apple Studio, Cubase.
Reason was big at the time.
Reason was
I don't know if it's still, is Reason still big?
pun intended. You said no name dropping.
No. Reason is one of my favorite artists. I'm not gonna say anything bad about Reason.
Nah, I don't think Reason the software is still big. That big.
It used to be big. Remember at the time there was a thing of no, FL Studio is not quality. If you want quality, you must use Reason. Reason now.
Yes.
Propeller.
Reason is like the. And I feel bad for saying this, but like, dog, it's real. You know, like Reason is like the OGs of hip hop. You know,
wow. You got into it, man.
It is what it is, bro. It is what it is.
So they are from a bygone era.
And Fruity Loops is like the new school.
The way,
you know, because there was like a big beef between Reason producers and FL producers. You know, when you were using FL back then,
Fruity Loops,
it was whack. You know what I mean? Yeah, so there was like that whole big debates about it. Like, oh, but it's Fruity Loops now, you whack.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're not a real producer.
Yeah, you're not a real producer.
You're just figuring
now,
this thing out.
Now FL is like the biggest store.
One, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But yeah, so yeah, pretty much learning how to do that by 2010. And then 2011, we had our first song play on YFM.
What song
like
was
a
that?
national rough sketch. Level
Is it
we
the
are.
level that we are.
Yes.
I was playing that song the other day. I'm
Yes.
like, why did this song not get as big as? I mean, it was big. It played on YFM, but I feel like it could have been bigger.
Sure, it was big for what we were doing at that time.
At the
but,
time,
like, it was a milestone for what we were doing. But however, I get exactly what you mean.
Shout out to Rough Sketch, man.
Big shout out to Rough Sketch.
Yeah.
Very talented guy.
Yeah.
But in reality, you need an engine. And at that time, especially at that time, record labels, you know, a record label is pretty much like a sponsor.
I see.
You know, and
like a stamp of approval.
Yes, I want to touch on something maybe that, you know, like it's hot topic type of thing, or hot take rather.
Okay.
You know, okay, let me start like this. So record labels like Gatini, it's a sponsor.
Yeah.
In a way.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
wait. That's an important point, and I want it to be a discussion on its own.
Uh-huh.
Let's continue chronologically now.
Right.
You released your first record. What's happening? What's the part? Because I know everyone who's a hip hop artist in Timbisa at some point has stepped foot in Seventh Wave.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Was this intentional? Did you guys want to be the solution for the Timbisa gang, or how you just happened to find those people gravitating towards you?
So if anything, the aim has always been seeing a loophole, and fixing the issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there was that issue. There's a lot of talent in Timbisa.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Even to this day.
You know? And it's not discovered, it's not recognized and whatnot. So my idea was to be that stepping stone for each and every single talent that I can see. And the best place to start would be at home. You know, so now we went to hip hop shows, my session and all that stuff. When we went there, we met different people and whatnot. Like, come true, let's work. Our prices
called networking, my brother.
Yes, our prices were cheap, bro. Like our first price was like, I think 39 Rand.
39 Rand for
to record, mix and master.
That's crazy,
bro. Because the whole point was not to even make money from it.
It was just to show people who we are.
Yes. The money was to just maintain.
Yeah.
Can I make more again? Can we fix it? Or this or whatever the case. Because we've never really had like an investor or whatever the case. So we needed to find
You
the
never
balance.
did?
No, never.
No, shit.
Never. I've never had an investor ever in anything that
For real?
No.
Damn, you guys moved different then. Because I remember there was a time where you guys were, and I think that was the intentional push.
Yeah.
You guys were showing up next to the biggest names in the country. I remember when you guys started, there was a promo that you guys did. And then it was Boo, it was Pro, it was Questa. Who else was there in that promo?
There was Pro Kid, I think.
Pro. Pro Sbuda, Questa.
Big Zulu, I think, was also there.
Big Zulu was recently, man. That thing is an old one.
Oh, you're talking about like in 2013?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I think Pro Kid was also not there.
Pro was not there in the 13 one.
Yes. But like, it was literally just networking, you know, and people maybe seeing what you're working on, and they're like, okay, cool, you have your head in the right place.
Yeah.
How about we go to this space and see what we can actually get out of this, or what can you give, or what can they give you, whatever the case type of thing. But like, it's always been relationships. That's always been our biggest power, you know, relationships, who we know and the product itself. Like
Yeah.
we've hardly ever compromised on the product.
You haven't.
And we're still trying to master it till this day.
Yeah.
But like we've always done our best in that.
Always improving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very important, bro.
Nah.
Because life is evolution. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? The Zuzo lead, a good friend of mine, also
Yeah.
a producer.
Producer,
I
yeah.
had a conversation now, and I was like, you know, I don't remember what we were talking about, but I was like, you know, this is like not the original me. You know, I'm not like this naturally. And it's like, no, but like human beings aren't meant to be like that. You know, who you are right now is exactly who you are. Human beings are meant to evolve. Who you were at that time.
Yeah.
So you can't live in the past.
Now the
type of
time
thing.
has changed.
And
Therefore,
same thing
you
now
also
with
need to change and
with your
evolve.
craft, you know, like everything. You can't utilize the tactics that you had in 2011 in mixing or creating a beat or recording or writing a song and be like, nah, this is how it's supposed to be done right now. No, bro, like
This is how we've always done it.
you know what I mean? Yeah. pretty much.
Okay. And then now, when did you guys get your first break? I think I have it in my mind because I remember there was anyway, maybe let me speak about it. When did you start saying, okay, you know what, now we're starting to have an impact. Now we're starting to move.
There's a lot of moments. They just differ in caliber. You know what I mean? So it's a very tricky question to ask me because I worked in Seventh Wave.
You were the person to ask because you were there from the jump.
But I worked with like over 1,000 artists, you know, and I feel like I might miss certain moments that were great that happened. You know what I mean? But I recall we worked with K-Dawg, you know,
and who was hot at the time.
Yes.
Hot. He was on YFM every week, ne?
Yes.
On the full clip.
Yes. The following songs after Level We're On that now played on
With
YFM
K-Dawg.
was linked to K-Dawg. You know what I mean? So that was like another milestone for us because we were not used to that, you know. Now when we go to shows, we recognize
Seventh Wave
like, you know what I mean? Like it actually started becoming a thing. And I probably feel like I'm gonna skip quite a lot, but before I skip, K-Dawg introduced me to Arsenic. You know what I mean? Arsenic was like on another level. It was like another milestone. You know what I mean? And I'm also talking not just craft. I'm talking like with the business and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Arsenic was able to actually buy a car with a mixtape.
Really?
You know what I mean?
I have beef with Arsenic, actually. You know what? We need to squash. You know what?
You need to bring him here so you can squash it here on camera. Or in a boxing ring.
You know what happened with Arsenic? I met him. I've always known him, but I met him at a show this one time. I'm like, yo, man, I make beats. Yeah, you know. He's like, send me some beats, man. You know. I sent him 5.
Right.
Ne? He put one on his IR tape. Ne? And he made the song, I think. This for man. Ask me for more.
Yeah.
He did Ask Me For More.
Ask Me For More.
Yeah.
Featuring Talum Season.
Yeah. And he didn't even credit me, this guy. He says my people was made by Casper. I'm like,
I get that. Casper also has
Casper is another legend from 16, by the way. Shout out to Casper. Casper G Unit, not Casper Novel.
Casper also has a very similar thing that you just described right now with Ginger Trill. You know, Ginger Trill become like my friend now. He's working with Touch, so I'm with him now and again.
Yes.
So he was also telling me about that. You know, on Arsenic's defense, I'm not condoning, but like in his defense, there's a couple of things that I realized working with artists that they're not aware how important certain little detail that you leave aside actually is. You know, I believe everyone that you're working with is trying to create something or stands for something. You know what I mean? Maybe they're not looking for fame, but like recognition is important. Like, this is my craft. I probably spent this amount of time doing this. This is my talent, and I don't even get credited. You know what I mean? But like, I don't necessarily think artists literally do that on purpose. And they thinking of you, they're like, nah, screw this guy. You know, I don't think artists there are abanjalo, but like they're few. You know, most artists make a lot of mistakes. And yeah.
Okay.
That's how I.
No, we'll bring him on the platform. Yes.
So it was Arsenic after K-Dawg, and then I'm probably gonna.
You're skipping. There's a time where you guys won Studio of the Year in some Timbisa awards or something like that. I think it was
bro.
BOT awards. Ne?
Well, a lot happened in
You guys
the
have done
past
a lot, man.
decade and
Yeah.
so on. Like
Yeah.
a lot happened, you know.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me to recall everything.
Yeah.
You're literally gonna have to ask me certain
You do
2-point
remember this one?
questions,
Yeah.
this and that. A
Yeah.
lot happened, you know what I mean? Like we've worked with international organizations, we've traveled, we've toured, like there's a lot of stuff, you know. So when it comes to the awards, 2013, I think, we won our first award for Best Recording Studio in Timbisa.
So yes, I remember that very distinctly.
Sure. And by the way, we're the only studio that has won awards in Timbisa.
Really?
You know what I mean?
So we created the category for
I'm
you
talking
guys
about like
this
studio-wise, not talking
Yeah.
about artists.
Yeah.
Itself, you know what I mean? We're the only studio that has won awards, and I'm not too sure, but like I could even go across the East Rand.
Wow.
Type of thing, you know what I mean? And you know how big our studio is.
Yes, I know.
So it's really not about the space
not-
itself.
it's not-
It's about what's
And even equipment-wise, because when you guys won, it's not like you had the most top of the cutting edge, bleeding edge tech.
Yes,
You guys just kept it simple.
100%.
And you made it work.
So the reason why I'm even mentioning that
Yeah.
in Timbisa or even in the East Rand and mentioning that our space is not that great and not that big and equipment is not the best.
Yes.
It was always about the craft.
Yes.
You know, it's always about...
Wait, is your studio still there? Crazy!
It is, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I promise you.
That's dope.
It's still there. It's still there. You need to come through
I need to
sometime,
come
You
through,
know what I
man.
mean?
I haven't been there in years.
So yeah, we got the first award. The following year, we won the second one consecutively. And man. And I started working with Touch 2013.
2013, you started
I
working
think
with Touch,
late
right?
2013. I started
How did you connect with him? How did you link with him?
So I've always known Touch. We went to the same matric dance, like a very good friend of mine, Gatsini, Katugui dates of a very good friend of mine.
Oh,
you know, matric dance. That's the first time.
'Cause
But like I'd already known about Touch.
Where did you go? You went to Roseville?
Yes, I went to Roseville.
Yeah, he didn't go to Roseville.
No, he went to Knocker.
Oh,
But like Touch was always popular. It was always pretty ugly in Touch.
Yeah.
So we knew about him
The
when we were in
Anthony,
high school, whatever the case, blah,
Yeah.
blah. But like, I didn't even know about him like that. I knew from my friend. My friend was always raving and ranting.
Yeah.
Yo, touch this, touch that, whatnot. And then eventually became dates. So we had known each other. 3 years later, 2013,
Yeah.
we linked up, became true to studio, told me like what his plan is, what his ambition is. He
Yeah.
quit music at that time. You
I
know
was
what
about
I mean?
to say this is the time where he wasn't even making any music.
Yes,
ne?
he came back
At
when he started
17,
working with me.
yeah.
That's when he was coming back into music. He told me that whole story.
Yeah.
You know, there's also like a life story. Like
Yeah.
Touch is very honest in his music.
Yeah.
So with Touch, a lot of things shifted in
Yeah.
my own career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we started working on music and I started achieving a couple of milestones.
And at this time, you're still a producer, engineer.
Yes.
You haven't dived into the DJing world as yet.
No.
Okay.
I could DJ, but like
Yeah.
it wasn't really
It wasn't
something that
anything,
I'm doing
yeah.
at that time.
Yes.
And then from me working with Touch, being in the studio
Yeah.
and whatnot, that's when we now starting to work with Umlani. You know, he's all the way in KZN. He's emailing Touch, I'm a beat, whatever the case, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah, blah,
okay.
blah, blah, blah. And we still trying to, because at that time I was not even mixing I'm a beat. You know what
You
I
weren't
mean?
mixing.
No, I'm a beat.
It was still
It's like wave and vocals, you know,
and yes, only.
and just released. That was it. And that shit was playing on radio.
Wave.
Yes. That shit was playing on radio. And I'm like, no, man. Like I keep on hearing,
this is me.
I keep on hearing competition on radio. By competition, I mean like quality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And our stuff is not sounding as on
not
par.
as
You know, I'm
punchy.
very obsessive when it comes to sonics. You know what I mean? And I'm like, nah, dog, like something has to happen. And I realized, oh snap, they also make some beats.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm 3 years 8. You know, like, oh snap, I've been missing this all the time. So,
Yeah.
you know, now I'm working with Uzolile. Uzolile is sending the beats. I'm like, no, dog, we need to mix this and whatnot. And
So he also learned mixing same time as you are learning mixing a song.
yes, I would be like, no, the kick is not, it needs to knock, the bass is too high.
So when he
whatnot.
send you a combined wave,
Yes.
and then you just
Ideas,
work with
pretty
the.
much.
He wouldn't send you the steps.
And then he would send the sips.
Yeah.
At that time, how I also learned how to mix beats proper
Yeah.
was from Umlani.
Oh,
Umlani
yeah.
would
I know.
mix
He was
beats
the
and
whiz,
whatnot
yeah, he
and
was
blah, blah,
the
blah.
whiz.
So I'm always there.
Yeah.
My ear would always tell me. I've always known ever since I've been
But you
doing
don't
music.
know how to fix it.
Yeah, I just didn't know
Hey.
where to press. But like my ear is telling me like, this
Something
is
is
not on par.
not. Yeah.
This is not on par, you
Yeah.
know? So yeah, we went through that whole thing and then fast forward, I'm just talking about like, you know, steps and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff. The first time I would say like it's, and I am skipping a lot of stuff. Like
Yeah.
the first time it was like a milestone for me was when an actual record company, you
Yeah.
know, hit up Utach, wanting to work with Utach
remember
because
that
there's a
time.
record that we worked on,
Yeah.
you know, and they liking that record
Are you gonna say the name or you
and
can't?
whatnot.
Can't say the name, no? Okay, it's fine. I
Yeah.
know the record label that you're talking about.
No, actually, it's not.
Not that one.
It's not. It's not. No.
Okay, not. I'm gonna bleep it out.
He
Not-
was. No, it's not.
Okay.
You know,
But I remember there was a time we was working heavy with.
that was right after that label.
Oh.
Yes. But like, I don't even want to delve in there.
Okay, it's fine. Don't worry, we'll bleep out.
You're gonna interview Tash for that one. He's gonna tell
Yeah,
you.
no.
whatnot.
Let's leave that one.
You know what I
Focus
mean?
on you, yeah.
So it was like the first record label
Yeah.
that hit up Touch for that. It's also like quite a big one, you know.
Yes.
And that was pretty dope. So for me, it's not even like a record label, but like it's recognition.
Yeah.
You would say, snap, what we actually working on something that's working. And that was like, I feel like the first big milestone from what the goal has always been, you know, and that is only happening in 2016.
Jeez.
I don't know how ignorant we are, you know what I mean?
Man, we're just doing things.
I think nowadays things are happening much quicker,
Yeah.
but back then they weren't happening like that.
Information wasn't as readily available as it is now.
Yeah, the internet, all that stuff, you know what I mean? It wasn't like that. So we literally thought 2012,
Yeah.
we'd be killing stuff, you know, on TV, radio, killing, whatnot. Nah, bro, it didn't happen like that. You know, so the first time that actually starts happening is now 2016. You know what I mean? Maybe now and again something would happen like 2016, and then the second record label hits him up, and then I get into that space. I would say that was the first time I put my foot in
So now
what we
you're
call
starting
the
to peek
industry.
behind the curtain of the industry.
Yeah, I'm starting to rub shoulders with the people that I used to idolize, you know, like
yes.
now I chill with them.
Oh, that's where those promos started coming in now, ne?
Yes.
Ah.
Well, so that thing happening for Touch
Yeah.
allowed me to also get into that space.
Yes.
And you know, pretty much. And that was like the first one. And also there's also the other side because we used to hire out sound. Do you know that?
Yes, I know.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So
I know. Remember we were customer there.
100%. But we're out here every week. Every week we're out here.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
The spot that I used to I actually have to say that, bro. I don't know if you've mentioned it, but like the spot that I used to bring sound to you for, is now Shimza's new spot.
Yeah,
you know,
Scott Paula used
Scotty
to be.
Paula, you know.
Hangout used to be Scott Paula.
Yeah, bro. Like I actually need to start interviewing you. There's a lot of
Hey
things.
man, I talk too much about myself on this podcast.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
yeah.
we're a serious customer of your guys' business.
Yes.
Scott Paula, yeah.
Yes. We're really about it.
Yeah.
On the sound side of things, again, that allowed me to now. This is when DJing starts, you know, because at that time Touch wasn't really gigging heavily.
Yeah.
It's around 2015, 16. Touch is not gigging that much,
Mm.
you know. So how I got introduced to DJing, I got called.
Yeah.
Bob. There's a friend of mine called Umtutuzi Math. You know
Math.
Math, yeah.
Matt has been on the podcast, man. But
yeah.
Matt was episode 19. Yes. We're
Sure.
speaking about you on the podcast.
Matt was a dancer,
Yeah.
right? And he worked with
Too much over.
too much Iva,
Yeah.
you know. And he worked with IDA, you know.
Yeah.
So when he's working with IDA would work with now Red Bull, and they'd get these campaigns and whatnot. So I got to travel with them and became their DJ.
Wow.
Because I already knew how to DJ, but it was like a hobby. It wasn't something I'm
You
taking
weren't doing it
seriously, you know.
yeah.
And Math was like, bro, are you serious about this? So I can connect you to Gerald. And that's how I met
Oh,
Gerald.
shout out to Matt, man.
Big shout out to
That's
Matt.
dope.
Yo, Matt has always been around, bro. He's
Yeah.
been around even beginning of the studio. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like, Matt has always been around. I was talking to him, I think 4 days ago. He's my boy.
Crazy.
So he linked me up with IDA, Ujaro, and then we started
Yeah.
traveling, you know,
Okay.
across neighboring provinces and
Yeah.
whatnot. Blah blah.
This is when
doing all that stuff.
2016,
2015, 16.
15, 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and that's what we're doing at that time.
Yeah.
And I got to actually travel every time because the guy that was responsible for the sound, that
Yeah.
was actually hiring out the sound, was Bro Joe.
Yeah.
You know, the guy that owns Joe's Butcher.
Yeah.
LA
Oh, from
Town,
LA. Yeah.
You know, so that's a
Okay.
big OG. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Now it's almost like I have a mentor that I
Okay.
move with.
So he was
every-
schooling you how to move and all of
Yeah, I
that.
started realizing a lot of
Wow.
things, bro. You know, it would like randomly pop out his phone and call Tab. You know, like so Orange Farms, because like a Tab, man, hey Tab, don't you have like a generator or what? And I'm like, damn, bro, like this thing is actually not as hard as we actually think it is when we're not in that space. So it also unlocked my mind.
Yeah.
But what I'm actually alluding to was they also got me into a space where we were creating a jingle and also co-managing a stage for an international organization. You know what I mean? And that stage, we had Constitutional Hill and whatnot. So that's the other side, you know, that
So now you started almost getting into events as well, sort of, né? Or management, events management, stage management, you called it.
Yeah, you could say something along those lines. So they were happening in parallel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's this.
So it's like you were right when you say you're self-taught, because that's what people that studied sound engineer end up doing as a career, right? Stage management,
yes,
engineering, all of that. When you were like, I can teach myself this thing.
100%. I always wanted to be in the technical side of things because I'm very technical minded.
Sure.
But yeah, you know, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. From there, it was just a blurring.
Yeah. Like after that, like things just started happening, and they were never ever smooth. You know? So this day they're not smooth, but like it's definitely been going up. Yeah, you know, but it's never been smooth. It's always been.
Sure.
You know, and it's just a journey.
Okay.
Appreciating.
Let's talk about sound engineering as a profession in South Africa. How big is it? How lucrative is it? And do you advise people to get into it?
So there's different types of sound engineering. There's live types of there's live sound engineering.
Yes.
And there's in studio.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I believe there's more.
Yeah.
Type of thing. There's film.
Yeah, there's creating plugin.
Right.
People that create plugins, they tweak those. Yes, yeah. There's different.
I mean, so I have ideas type of thing. I just know what has to be done. Give me the job, I'll do it.
You do it.
But ask me the specifications. I will go here and there. But yeah, what was your question again?
Sound engineering as a profession in South Africa. How big is it? How lucrative is it? Can you live off of it? And would you advise people to get into it?
Yes, definitely. Just know why you're getting into it for. You know, if you're getting into it for money, go do events, concerts. You know, live sound.
That's where the money is in South Africa.
That's where the crucial money is in South Africa. In music, it's as a corner, but like it takes quite some time unless you know someone that knows someone. It takes quite some time because there's big competition. There's already engineers that are mixing and mastering for people that are big. Fair. So to be one of those, they are trusted, you know. So if a formula is working, best believe that artist is not trying to change that formula.
They're just going to go to the go-to guy.
Yes. So they also probably make their bag, but like it takes a minute, you know. But like if you literally just go to school, do your sound engineering and get a job as a concert sound engineer, assistant and whatnot, you're probably going to get there a little quicker than you would when you're doing it. Because also studio, a producer nowadays is a sound engineer, like someone that creates.
Because you need to make.
Also, speaking of which, there's a difference between a producer and a composer, you know, / beat maker, and a sound engineer, you know. And nowadays, all those
Speak about it. Define them for people that don't know.
For people that don't know. So a composer is a beat maker.
Yeah.
They create instruments. So now I'm just talking maybe piano, I'm talking hip hop and whatnot. But also there's live, there's gospel, there's rock and whatnot. You know, a composer is still not that person that's probably pressing the keys.
Okay.
It's the person that has an idea of how the instrumental should sound.
Okay.
You know?
Wait, that's the composer, not the composer. Okay.
The composer.
Okay.
The producer is for me, you know, I've had like a couple of debates with different people within my space.
It's fine. Let's define it.
In my opinion, a producer is a director. You know, a movie director?
That's a great way of looking at it.
Actually. You know what I mean? Because a movie director does not have to hold the camera. The guy that holds the camera
the DP,
is usually like a director of photography, the DOP. You know what I mean? He does not have to create the sound. He does not have to act. He does not have to write the script. He does not have to do props, do the cast or whatnot. He has the concept. And in my opinion, that's the producer. You know, he has the concepts of, okay, Lesego is trying to create a song of this nature. He's described it. So I already know what Lesego is looking for. I can get this composer to do this. I could get this guy to do this. He has the concept, you know, and has the experience and expertise and the connections to do that. And also the guy that actually has the better connections is an executive producer. Executive producer is hardly even in studio. You know, he's the guy that
puts you guys together and go make magic.
Yeah. So this is like very well versed, but because our industry, I feel like it's still not as big as how it is, like internationally type of thing. Everything is coupled in together.
I see. You end up being a composer, producer, executive producer, all in one.
All in one.
Because you can't our industry or our market doesn't allow for you to be one and just live.
Yes,
I see.
Yes. But like, these are all three different things. You know what I mean? And usually that one person usually does all three, but like not all the time.
I see.
You know what I mean?
I see.
So I hardly ever compose. You know, if I do, I'm probably gonna add a kick. Zolila's already sent me the beat. Kaiser Beats has already sent the beat to whoever I'm working with. You know, I'm probably gonna add a kick, or I'm gonna manipulate this synth or whatever the case. You know what I mean? I hardly ever compose, but I always produce.
You always produce.
You know what I mean?
So you go and say, look, I'm looking for this sound. Let me hit up whoever is good at producing this sound.
Yeah.
Yo, this is what I'm looking for. Can you organize it for me? Okay, I also want to feature so and so on this, because I feel like so and so on this sound has never been heard before, but I feel like it would be a good mix. Then you get that person, and then you I
100%.
see. Okay.
And obviously, where I get my hands dirty is engineering.
Aha.
You know,
so then you actually sit with the cans on your ear.
Yeah, because that's like the final step in music, you know. Like now I have the full product. It's created, whether I was involved or not in creating it. But like I'm responsible to make sure this song slaps or doesn't slap.
Okay.
You know,
so you do both mixing and mastering, or just mastering?
I do more. I do both. Yeah.
Explain what mixing and mastering is, just quickly, for people that don't know.
So mixing is literally, I wanted to make a DJ example, but like I'm really gonna dumb it down, you know.
As long as the people get what it is.
So mixing, you have stems.
Yeah.
You know, now the beat is created and whatever, you have stems. Yeah. There's a kick.
Yeah.
Snare, melody, you know, there's bass and all that separately type of thing. Your job as an engineer is to hear the reference on how the song was done as a demo. That's going to tell you the feel and the idea of what the artist or whoever was going for. And your job is to maintain that, but make it clean. So when someone listens to that, if they decide to listen to the kick, they're going to hear the kick. It's not like a bunch of mud, like, you know, a lot happening.
You can hear the kick.
You can hear the synth, you know, the vocal is chilling exactly where it's supposed to chill. The synth is chilling exactly where it's supposed to chill. The bass is booming, the kick is knocking, the snare is snapping, you know, the hi-hats are doing the right things, and it's also creating like an environment, an ambience, you know what I mean? So, best described when you rocking headsets. When someone rocks headsets, they need to be in a space, you know? So what I would usually ask an artist is like, when you're creating the song, what do you want the audience or your listener to perceive? How do you want them to feel? And then when I understand that from the artist, I already know what I'm going for, you know? My job is to make sure that I maintain or create or enhance this type of feeling so that when someone actually hears this, they in this space. Like right now, you know, turn down for what? Like they're at a club. You know, someone is at home just closing his eyes, wearing my headset.
You need to take them back to the club.
They need to feel like they're at a club. You know what I mean? When your heart is broken. Let's say you are in a very perfect relationship. When you listen to that song, your heart needs to break. You know what I mean? And that is my job as an engineer. So it's both technical and creative at the same time.
And there's an art to it.
Yes. There's a very, very important aspect of the art, because the engineer can literally make the song or break the song.
I see. And that's mixing. What's the difference between mixing and mastering now?
Mastering is pretty much enhancing and widening, you know, really opening it up, you know, making it like pretty much what we now hear as a final product. Usually you'll never hear a song that's not mastered on radio, but like there's a huge genre now that doesn't get mastered, you know, and that's our culture in South Africa, and that genre is piano, bro. I'm gonna say it, you know.
I thought you.
Nowadays it's better, you know. I'm hearing songs that are coming out nowadays. I can hear what's okay.
I think it also depends on the artist or who's involved, because there's a certain group of people that we know who listen. The engineering here is top notch.
Another thing, man, like I also gotta give them this. Piano is like mostly dust. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by that?
Estrad. You know what I mean? It's raw.
So it doesn't care about being clean and all of that.
Yeah, you know.
It's trying to capture a certain feel, and you get that by just releasing it as it, not tinkering too much with it.
Also, there's this other thing, man, like you know, it's very important also as a sound engineer to not get too caught on something sounding perfect. You know what I mean? Because sounding perfect can take away the feel. So what they maintain the most with piano is the feel. Because that's what people actually hear, you know? People are not usually aware, would say, maybe they like a song a little bit more because it's clean and it's well mixed and whatnot. People aren't really aware of that,
Yeah.
you know, type of thing.
Yes,
So
sir.
when the piano is well done,
Yeah.
mixed or not, but
Yeah.
if it feels great and gives them like a great feeling, and
Yeah.
that lock drum is just doing its
It's just
thing,
doing the
you
thing.
know, and the vocal is doing,
Yeah.
the song is done. There's a lot of songs, bro, that are not mixed that I can hear. If they're saying they mixed it, I apologize, but nah, not according to what I understand mixing it.
I feel you.
Yeah.
What is your most favorite or an example of the best engineered album? I have a few. Maybe let me share mine quickly. Random Access Memory by Daft Punk.
Ooh.
Born in Lagos by Wizkid.
Ooh.
Supreme engineering. This album, I don't know the name of the album, yeah, Ralph Gum, but the song, the album that has the song Fly Free.
Right.
Supreme engineering. The engineering on that project. Those are my top 3.
You know, it's a very difficult one to answer.
Yeah.
I'll give you one, then I'll think about the other two. The recent Aries project.
Aries.
Not Aries, Nasty C project.
Okay.
Gonje, what is it called?
Is it Zulu Man with Some Power?
No.
The most
there's
recent
one
one.
that just came out now. I forgot.
Oh, I forgot what it's called. Yeah.
You know, and it's mixed and mastered in Dolby, maybe it's Gonje.
Dolby Atmos.
Dolby Atmos.
Yeah.
You know, cinematic mixing. It's 5.1. It's not just stereo left
It's not
and
the
right.
stereo.
So you understand how much is
audio,
happening, bro.
yeah.
So when you have your home theater system actually fully plugged in, you have a full-on experience. So I really mess with the mixing there. You know what I mean? Like it's dope. But like in general, I would definitely say international for me. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Most of the best mixed
I
projects.
think I also got named international projects.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I
yes.
don't think there's a great example of a properly mixed. This song
Yeah.
that you can tell, oh, this song was mixed properly. But the project as a whole, I would struggle to think of a few.
I would say, I forgot what the project was, but Ulira, where I Am a Believer, that song is, that project, I forgot what the project is actually called.
No, but I'm lying, actually.
It was actually well done. That
was King of Amapiano 2.
Oh,
Supreme.
yes.
Actually.
Is that where Irakera 2 is?
Yes.
That was amazing. And when I say, nowadays they're doing a great job, brother. I think Ugabs are definitely up the standard, because what I heard after that project dropped, they're starting to mix more.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Because if volume of piano was like significantly low.
Yeah.
It was very low. When you play another song, like a song is like
Yeah.
high up there. You know what I mean? But like nowadays, you know, you can hear
You're right. I'm thinking
the
about a certain album that is very liked and the mixing is not the best. And I don't, for me, because I've done music, sometimes that takes away from, it distracts me from the music itself. Because now I'm like, why is it not sounding the way I know it should be sounding? And then but anyway, let's not get into that. Yeah.
Right.
You wanted to get into a controversial topic about record label. Let's get into it now. We have gotten there. You were saying something around, hey, record labels are, and then I stopped you. I said, we'll get
Well, it's not really controversial.
Oh, it's not controversial.
It's a fact, though.
Okay.
You know, it's my fact.
Okay.
Because, you know, everyone is entitled to their own.
To experience again.
You know, but like, I believe record label is like a sponsor.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's very hard. The reason why I even got into that, I was just telling you, Guti, everything that I've done, I've been doing it myself.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a different story when you're actually signed. Because when you sign, you're like an actor. That's the best way I could actually describe it.
You just come in.
You're an actor.
Play
you know
your
what I
part.
mean?
You leave.
Maybe locally they don't do that, but like internationally,
Yeah.
musicians, Baba Palela, Malyrics, they give them the beats, they voice coach them, they tell them how to do it, engineer directs them how to do it. It's just like an actor, bro.
Yeah.
You just get there, you know your words that they wrote for you.
Yes.
You act, the director.
Sometimes there's even things called reference tracks, where someone does the entire song from bridge to verse to chorus to everything. You just come in and replace the vocals and they release the song.
100%. That's exactly what it is. So the best way I could actually describe it, just imagine Ispan as an act.
Yeah.
Your job is just to be there and make sure, Wuti, you look on point, your craft is great, you're able to, but like, that's your only job.
Yeah.
You can't survive as an independent artist operating like that. You know, you need to make sure, Wuti, your song is registered. You need to make sure your song is plugged on radio. I'm not cool about everything that happened before, Wuti, your song is clean, the craft is proper, all that stuff. I'm not talking about all that stuff. I'm talking about like now the business etiquette here, and throughout doing all that, there's money that needs to be punched. Marketing is a lot of money. there's no independent artist that can easily put his project on a billboard. That shit is expensive. I used to got to be $300 and something thousand rand, you know, to put on a billboard, and that was like 5 years back. I don't know how much it is now, type of thing. You can't do things like that. Having your billboard on the New York.
I'm thinking about, as you're speaking, I'm thinking about at New York Times Square. That Times Square thing.
100%.
It's not easy.
You can't, bro. There's radio, you know, radio, they want their biola, you know.
Is that a thing in South Africa?
Yeah. Bro, it's really a thing.
Remember, there was a couple of years ago where it came out. I think Reason even made a song about it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then, but people tried to squash it to say, no, this thing doesn't really exist in South Africa. And I know someone got in trouble. Was it Chile M that got in trouble at Nkosi for accepting some money for Bayola? Remember that story?
Oh, snap. I remember that story.
So they made it seem as if, no, man, this is an exceptional thing. It doesn't happen. So you're saying it's a thing.
It is a thing. It is a thing.
You can't get on radio without paying someone.
Of course, on the radio station. Of course, there's luck.
Yeah.
There's luck. Okay. You know, sometimes it's dope now that there's internet.
Yeah.
You know, so internet helps the new kids or new songs create demand in the streets before it actually goes on radio. That radio can't even think twice because they need the people to listen.
I see.
And tune in. So if they want to keep people there, they need to play what people are listening to.
Yeah.
So if a song is big on the internet,
yeah,
there's a very good chance radio will end up playing it without you having to pay.
So it's difficult to debut your song on radio if you're an independent artist. You can, unless you have relationships maybe, but usually they need to see it doing something in the streets first. 100%. Then they say, I can put it on the radio station.
100%, unless you're also like established, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean? When you're established, you already know they're gonna listen to this person because it already has a following and whatnot. Like it's a brand name, you know what I mean. But Bayola definitely is a thing. It's just unspoken of, and I'm really not a fan of it. If radio is supposed to be like a platform that puts out music and whatever,
it's supposed to put out the
best music. It shouldn't be like that. But like it's also. And I'm not a very political person, but like it's very similar to our political system in the country type of thing. You know what I mean? It's now about my pockets instead of my purpose here. So I'm no longer doing my duty. You know, your job here is be a compiler.
Yeah.
Notice talents, hear greatness, and put it up there and let people decide. You know, if maybe listenership, again, you can remove the song.
Yeah.
You know, but like it doesn't happen like that anymore. It's about like now my pockets.
Is radio still as influential as it was 10, 15 years ago in terms of dictating who the hottest artists are or what the hottest music is?
I would say radio and TV is still very influential outside the big cities.
Oh,
outside the big cities, because there's still people out there that only have access to radio and television, SAPC 1, 2, and 3, no DSTV and whatnot.
We don't live on the internet.
Yes, we still do have that part of the country, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like these provinces are huge.
Sometimes it looks like it's bigger than it is because of everything that happens here.
But in the big cities, I think it's definitely losing its value. You know, it's really losing its value, and more and more people, even in the outskirts of the country, more and more people are gravitating towards the internet. I mean, like we going into AI, man, like advanced in artificial intelligence. I call it advanced internet.
Advanced intelligence.
You know what I mean? Advanced internet.
Oh, internet.
Yeah.
Oh, internet.
Yes. There was internet.
Yeah.
AI.
Now it's another level of
It's advanced, bro. If you think about it, it's like they literally taking internet and making it a human being. Because AI literally knows anything that you give it. You know, it creates information just from the information that you punch in. Type of thing. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much
the way to put it.
So it's really getting there now. But however, yes, it does still have that
influence, ne? Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about how does one find success? And we're about to close the show, but I need to ask this one.
So quick. I thought we were just getting started.
An hour goes by very quickly,
but kidding. Yeah.
How does one find success? And what are the things that one needs to do to be a successful sound engineer / DJ, all the things that you do? What do you need to do? How do you make sure that you stay on top of your game?
Hey, I feel like I always have like some weird ways of answering questions. You know what I mean? Because for me, things are deeper than the surface level, the shallow end. You know what I mean? Because everything starts within you inside. So if you don't have the passion for it and you don't even know why you want to do it, like the drive, it's not going to happen. you know, because you might have the ability to actually learn the skill or whatever the case, but like you're going to get to times where it's like really hard. Like you're working on that song, go 2, 3 in the morning and you know, if you don't really have that drive, the reason why you're even doing this or the purpose of why am I doing this, whatever the reason could be, you're going to quit, you know? So that's the first thing. After you have that, and I'm answering this in my own way because like that's literally
what
how
we want.
I've done it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's what's driven because we've experienced like so many else, you know, lessons.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to the lessons.
And from all these lessons, it's very easy to quit. You know, it's not in my nature naturally. I'm a very optimistic person. I really believe, you know, and I'm gonna see something through. No matter how much it's gonna give me like
if
the
you
run
start
around.
it, you must finish it.
But you can only have that if you have a reason, the purpose behind it.
Something that reminds you when it gets tough. This is why you started this thing.
100%, you know. Then after that, we have internet. I wanted to say artificial
advanced
internet, so to say. Thank you. We have the internet.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's easier to become anything. Nowadays, you hardly even need talent.
Hence, you are here where you are, and you are self-taught because there's something called the internet.
Nowadays, I don't even think you even need talent like that for anything.
Okay.
You know, maybe there's particular things, but people can see, you know, even if they don't have the expertise, they can be like, but like this guy really doesn't have it like that. But like you still,
if you're pushing, you know, and you have the dedication and the work ethic, you can get to a certain level.
So the internet gives us that. Like you literally go to YouTube, you ask anything. You know, you can have a course for 3 months. Nowadays, you just check out like a 15-minute video and you already know how to make a piano because you have an experience of making a beat. You know what I mean? As I told you, I really don't compose. But like if I really wanted to compose something tomorrow and I really wanted to do something of that nature, just go to the internet. I will do it. It's simple. You know, but like I don't have the drive to do that, you know. My whole thing is on being a producer. Like I have visions, ideas. And that's what I want to do. And I know people that are really great at doing these particular things that I need to bring this idea to fruition.
You put it together.
So I don't want to double dab into that, you know. And if I'm going to get my hands dirty, let me get my hands dirty in something that I actually specialize in, type of thing. You know what I mean?
Engineering.
Which is engineering. You know what I mean? But yeah, I would just say, Guti, that's like resource number 2, internet type of thing. And number 3, mad discipline. You know, discipline is probably supposed to be number 1. It's probably supposed to be number 1.
And that's something that a lot of artists struggle with.
Yes. But discipline is like...
They have the talent, but work ethic is not the way it should be.
Yeah, because you can literally master number 1 and number 2. But like when it comes to discipline, if you don't have the discipline, because the magic is in the consistency.
It's in the consistency.
You know, it's not in the intensity. And I remember early on I was telling you that I'm a very intense person. So I had to go through that lesson.
You know, intensity can only get me so far.
Yes, like I can't push very hard for 3 months and expect heavy results. I need to push for years. Consistently. I'd rather have a day where I got in 50% well done for the past 5 years than have 3 months where I did 100%.
And then nothing.
You know what I mean? And so also realizing that we also have so much control over things. There's life.
It's in your hand.
You know, we also have very, very little control over things. So the only thing that you have control over, do your best. Because in the greater scheme of things, I'm spiritual, bro. You know, so I also
it's coming through very well. You don't need to explain.
I see things beyond what we touch, what tangible things. You know what I mean? Like that's just how my brain works.
Okay.
And do what you have to do physically very well with all the discipline to allow everything else that's beyond your control, like luck, to work for you. Preparation, meeting opportunity. Those things can only work for you if you're already playing your part. You know, it's like going. You can't pray and be like, yo, can I pass this science test? And not go study. You know what I mean?
Regardless of how much you pray.
It doesn't matter.
It's not going to work out.
It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So no matter how hard you pray, it's not going to happen. So just make sure you study as hard as possible. So that when you do pray, it's just gonna ride smooth. You know what I mean? Number 2, you're just not in competition, man. Like we live in the internet era. You know, like everything, because we're human beings, everything is almost viewed like competition or who's better, who's doing what, or who's gotten away and whatnot. Just be on your purpose. Like, believe in what you believe in, know your intuition, know what you're about, or whatever the case, and focus on that.
Yeah, stay in your lane.
So it goes back to discipline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, allow the internet to do whatever it's doing. But just understand it's the internet. It's really not true. You know? It's not a real world.
It's not real, this thing.
No, it's not, bro. It's marketing. It's marketing. It's like WhatsApp, for example. Look at WhatsApp. You could probably be talking to your girlfriend, right? On WhatsApp, and you could say something. 0 emoji, 0 exclamation marks, not any punctuation marks.
Yeah.
And when it gets to her side, she's going to interpret it exactly the way she wants to interpret it, not the way you probably typed it. You know, so the chances of her seeing it exactly the way you did it maybe depends on how well she knows you or
a state of mind.
1 out of 5 times.
Yeah.
She probably got the right thing, and that's the very same thing with the internet. You know what I mean? Someone was probably posting the super dope Lamborghini.
Yeah.
And you seeing someone that's flexing on you. And this person is just grateful.
Yeah.
It's just really grateful.
They are celebrating.
They are celebrating. You know, now you have now it's pressure for you.
Hey.
Now you're not successful. Now you feel like
now it diminishes your success now.
You know what I mean? So just understanding, I think, those couple of things, you know. So overall, I think work on the inside of yourself. The outside will happen naturally. Call the flow of nature. Can I just mention this?
Mention it, my brother. Go
on. There's the flow of nature, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know where I read or saw this, but like, you understand water is like very powerful. I think we all understand this.
Yeah.
And water does exactly what you give it. So if you're about to bath and you feel swag, you're going to come out there feeling even more swag. You know what I mean? If you're about to bath and you feel great, or you thinking positively, but you probably don't feel great physically or emotionally, there's a good chance you're going to come out feeling great. So that's just context.
So it amplifies whatever you give to it.
Water has a frequency. You know, music is 44.
Yes.
What's kilohertz, blah, blah.
3 kilohertz, I think, is the voice of angel, whatever. Yeah, that one.
So water also exists on a different, I think it's 52 of, it's on a different frequency. It's a wave thing. You know what I mean? And it's very powerful. So I'm just giving you context in what I actually want to say. So how water actually works, because water is like that, powerful like that. When water comes across a rock, you know, flowing in a river. Water's powerful, bro. They have tsunamis. It breaks buildings.
Yes.
But when it's flowing there, it does not break the rock. It has all the ability. It does it, you know. It finds the rock there and it creates a path and it moves around it. And that's reality. So when I say you need to allow yourself to flow with nature, that's nature's law. No matter what you do, what you say, how confident you are, how arrogant, how aggressive, or how peaceful, or vice versa, it does not matter. There's a law to the universe. So understand the flow of nature and allow that and do all that you can do, the best you can do it. There's a saying that says, all we can do is the best we can do. That's exactly what it means, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So do what you can do, but like understand that even if you do it, you could still fail. But allow life to flow like that.
And that's fine if you fail.
There's a reason why you're failing, because you're probably going to realize that after 3 years. That's the reason why I could not get into this space. I had to learn more.
There's a lesson that you hadn't acquired.
And it's just the flow of nature, bro. You're just here on earth for a reason. Allow that reason to happen. But like, don't relax again now. Like, I'm praying
no, nature
hard.
will make it happen.
No,
for me.
you gotta work. You gotta work. Put in that discipline and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And things happen differently in different times for everyone.
Man. I don't know if there's anyone that can take anything from what you said. That was comprehensive, beautiful.
Sure.
Let's talk about, you just released an album, man. Thought becomes things.
Yes, it's not an album. I would call it
it's a
body of work.
It's okay.
It's not a mixtape.
It's a
body of work.
It's a project.
Yes.
Talk about that. What were you trying to do with that album? What were you hoping it achieved? And how did you go about sort of creating it? Because now we know you as the engineer and the DJ. Now you are making music now.
Right.
Talk about that as well. Yeah.
I have like a lot of conversations, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I work with like a lot of artists and whatnot. So I had these ideas that I really felt like, you know, could be like a body of work type of thing. And maybe I'm working with this person or that person, you know, the way I see their brand, these are not ideas maybe that would work for them, But I feel like these are ideas that have to go out there in the world. You know what I mean? And I have ideas, conversations,
Yeah.
and I wanted to have a conversation in a musical form with
Oh,
people, creating a certain
awesome.
impact, you know, and this is the best way to start it. So that's just on my ambition side of things and communication, because I believe music is like communication, you know what I mean? And then on the business side of things, bro, COVID hit, bro. COVID hit. I
hit,
needed
like-
to have my own intellectual property that runs me just in case this happens again. Because I feel like this was a lesson for so many people.
It was a wake-up call.
Yes, you know, COVID hits. I needed to have something that happens, something that I create that could still sustain me
Yeah.
even when I don't have power over
Yeah.
my logistics or moving around or whatever the case, you know. And even during COVID, I got like a lot of inspiration. Now I had to work on music, and so many artists could not come to studio, you know. So now my purpose is limited, because my thing is like I like every day working with someone in school.
making
So now I
something
just had to
happen.
work with myself.
Yeah.
And I have so many songs in my computer. It's
Okay.
crazy. So I was really just going through like a lot of different songs. I'm like, oh, damn, I can actually take out a project, you know what I mean? So there's the Big Star one,
Yeah.
Deluxe Teaser.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually gonna have like
Teaser.
it's actually gonna have a full on song.
Okay.
So how that one even came about, we were working in studio with Big Star on his project, I think 2018 or 19. And that was like one of the songs that he didn't really utilize because there was politics, you know, with the guy that he was working with at that time or whatever the case. But I'm like, this is a great song, you know? So I'm like, you know what? I could re-record this with a Big Star and I could remake this beat. And I've got the right person that can help me remake this beat or whatever the case, blah, blah. So I took old vocals, we remade the beat, even a better feel, you know, than how it was.
Amazing.
And obviously the first step that I took was talking to Big Star, bro, what do you think of this concept? Like, shake this goal, bro.
Do it.
You know what I mean? Gave me even more energy. So
Yeah.
that's literally, so I still created that song, but like it's an idea that had existed before COVID. You know what I mean? 2018, 19. type of thing.
Jeez, man.
And then I remade it to become...
That song has legs then, because it's like 5 years old.
Yes.
And you still released it in late 2023.
And I have so much music that can still live.
Shake, stop sitting on that music, man. Release that music, man.
That's what I'm about to touch on. So
Okay.
I would sit.
Okay.
I would definitely.
Was it the perfectionist jumping out now that was keeping the music from coming out?
No, not even.
Okay.
Not even.
Okay.
Now I'm probably projecting on your foca, on your comba. You know, that's exactly what I'm doing, because I'm an artist. Also suffer from the fear of success.
Fact.
You know, so they hold back.
Yes.
You know, and I'd be like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why? But you're supposed to do this or whatever the case. So the other reason why I actually wanted to do my own thing is because I also didn't want to get permission now. You know, before something happened. Like, gonna drop a lingoma, dog, people are gonna mess with it, I'm promising you.
Yeah.
And it's probably not there, you know.
I see.
Or she's not there or whatever the case. So I'm
So
gonna
now because it's yours, you have control over when it comes out, what time,
Yes.
how exactly.
Yes,
etc.
yes. So the other reason why I have all this music in the PC has nothing to do with my perfection.
Perfection.
It has everything to do
Oh.
with artists being here and there about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you. Okay. And now we are closing out the show now.
Sure.
When we close out the show, we usually ask our guests 3 of the same question. All guests get these 3 questions. And it's just a fun way to sort of compare and contrast their answers. And
Right.
there's a lot of similarities, but there's also a lot of unique answers. So it's always fun to sort of ask these questions. Question number 1, in your life and career, what has been your biggest success, your biggest W? And you can brag here. Don't be humble.
My biggest success.
Biggest win, Baba.
Or biggest win.
Yeah. Too many.
Ama's success.
Amas.
I've never dropped a single song in my career.
Yeah, that was your first.
I dropped my first song, and it's yeah.
But the way your guys even launched that song, I remember there was this thing the way you guys were sitting down, you and Tash, and you were giving like a press conference or something, and then you were speaking about Amas.
Yes.
You guys really did you guys plan that? How did you strategize releasing that song?
I got a lot of assistance from Sweet Kid,
Oh,
Zolile
okay,
and Touch,
okay.
but it was mainly my concepts
Yeah.
that I always had. You know, from the minute the song was made in studio, I
Yeah.
already knew how I was gonna market
Who
this.
made that beat?
Zolile?
Zoli.
Yes. He sent me that beat. I think I was mentioning that. He sent me that beat. I think it was 2020. He sent me the beat. I ignored it for like a month. And then Touch had set up a session with Sweet Kid.
Okay.
And they were
The
working
kid,
on
yeah.
something. And then I'm listening to beats. I'm like, Ish, what can we work on? Let me actually check out Zolile, send it,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Ting.
I'm like, hey man, I've been planning to drop a song. Nah, I'm taking this. I find Touch in studio. He's bumping his own thing, conceptualizing. You know, when an artist is like out here mumbling, blah, blah. Bro, I'm like, bro, like listen to this. It's like Zolile also actually sent me this, bro.
Oh, really? The same beat?
Yeah, the same beat. You like it? Alright, cool. Touch, I'm trying to drop a song, you know?
Yeah.
Touch is hearing me, but like not really, because Shakes has never really dropped a song.
Shakes is not an artist.
He's not an artist.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about, Shakes? You know what I mean? So, but it's like, I hear, you know what I mean? And then they were going to work on another beat when we got into studio. But like, I was just so consumed by this beat, you know? And immediately when Kizas gets there, we're bumping a couple of beats, but like, I can't help it, you know? I bump this beat. I'm like, yo,
listen to this.
and it goes crazy, you know, like, oh, damn, this is dope, whatever. So now it becomes like an Amasi session type of thing, you know what I mean? To a point where the song was done, and it was done like one night. Of course. And after it was done, now Touch and Sweet Kid are like, ish, we're not sure, boy.
We can't
Anyway, you've never heard a song, bro. So are you sure you want to start with such a heavy song? You know what I mean? So I had to go through that, you know, back and forth. For months, by the way. Yeah. From the studio. The talk was there. This is my song. But for man,
they kept saying, man, boy.
You know, Sweet Kid wanted it, Touch wanted it. You know, Zolile is like, oh, Shakes, dope. But like, you've never dropped a song and whatnot. So I had to, I actually had to convince my bros. I would say, bro, I have the capacity. I probably don't have the numbers. Maybe you've never seen the experience of me doing it before. But like, I know I have the capacity to make the song a success. And I have marketing ideas that I know that all of you guys have not executed.
Never yet,
you know? And for me, it's purely humor.
Sure.
Amasi, and Amasi does not have a song.
No,
there's no theme song. Amasi Nkosi or every case, you know what I mean. But they helped me out like a great deal, Like that song would not be that success without them.
Without the chance. Now, shout out to the chance, man. That was when I heard it the first time, I went crazy. That lock drum in there, it's lock drum, right?
It is.
Dum, dum, dum. Crazy, man.
We call that a hybrid
sort of song.
Hybrid beat.
Okay.
So you'll notice also
like
in my project,
in
my project there's like a lot of hybrids. When you even listen to Uyabayega, Uyabayega was created from scratch.
Okay.
You know, and right now the run that Uyabayega has is actually quite crazy.
Okay.
It's actually giving me goosebumps Guamas because that's how Amasi also built up.
Like
that's what was happening after I dropped Amasi. Like I actually started noticing that traction.
There was movement,
so the Zilog drum there's it's pretty much like almost Boma piano, Boma Afro, soul, also like a touch of hip hop.
I can think of a song. There's a song that was done by Dr. Pepper. There was like a hybrid of like trap and piano.
Yes, those vibes.
It's escaping me now. Someone write in the comment section. You know the song that I'm talking about, ne?
I think I might be recalling. I just forgot.
I think the remix has Ricky Rick in it as well. It's escaping me. But man, that was big up for that one. That was a fire song.
Yes. Yeah, but pretty much.
That's your biggest.
You know, Amasi's low key. Okay, was actually because I'm thinking about Yabayega, no. Amasi was literally carrying the project for the first day or two.
Oh wow!
After 3 days, when I go to Spotify and Apple for artists, I can see Yabayega is like creeping in. You know, it's like really going in. You know what I mean? So I'm noticing even in the streets when I speak to my peers and whatnot.
They think about
everyone is gravitating towards Uyabayega. Amasi is already a given.
Amasi, we know.
So everyone is speaking about Uyabayega. You know, and I was marketing Winner's Circle. People love Winner's Circle. But you actually notice that Uyabayega is very.
It's personal.
It's also very spiritual. You know what I mean? Like in Kuluma now. Because you'll notice Kate in the beginning, she's she's chanting. She's not really saying much.
She's not,
She starts saying much, maybe like the last 4-8 bars.
yeah.
Same thing. And Vina comes in, does the very same thing.
Yeah.
And K-Dawg comes in, does the same thing, and then Touch comes through and raps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's not much being said.
Yeah.
Like there's very little.
Yeah.
So it's talking to a different side. So
Yeah.
it's what I've been saying throughout the whole talk. Uzi. It's waves,
Yeah.
Sometimes waves don't talk to just the ears.
Yeah. It's not just what you are hearing, but what you are feeling.
Yes. So how that came about, I went to spoke to Touch. I'm trying to do this. Spoke to DJ Nova.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do this. We went to DJ Nova, started creating the composition. You know what I mean? And Touch was like, bro, with chords you can never go wrong. So you'll notice when you listen to Yaba Yek, there's heavy chords. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was Touch saying, but with chords you'll never go wrong. I'm like, bro, I agree 100%. You know what I mean? So let's start with that. And then we'll get the tempo after that. And out here, Ulovina, K-Dawg, and Mandy, they're out here humming different things.
Yeah.
When they started,
Were they in the studio at the same time?
Everything was created from scratch one day. Everyone was in studio. There was nothing before that, not even a beat.
Jeez.
So when I started hearing K-Dawg and all three of the ladies starting to hum,
yeah,
I was like, we are here.
Something is coming.
Just put words here. Just put words here.
Yeah.
And then we started working on lyrics and whatnot.
Yeah.
Touch was out here very involved in the process and whatnot.
Okay.
Nova is also doing the things and whatnot. So that's actually how it actually came about. It was created from a very genuine place. Yeah. Dope energy in studio. 4-5 really talented people that I was working with there, and I'm very happy about the collaboration they got.
Lovely. My favorite song, my favorite song on the project is Inganewan.
Oh, Inganewan. Bro, how did we not even talk about those, bro? Because those are like low-key my favorite.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Yeah. They low-key my favorite. I have a very strong choir background.
Yeah, you and Tantley used to sing in choir, right?
Yes. Even in high school, bro. I started singing from preschool up until grade 9, I think, So I have a very strong choir background. Yeah. So I had the privilege of also meeting Umlani. Umlani was introduced to me and then came through. We started working on different stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I actually want to try out something different. Like, how about like an interlude of a cappella, blah, 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 So Umlani, you works all the time, like on different stuff, whatnot. And then when he created that, I'm like, here we are onto something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, that song is on Netflix. The show is gonna come out, I think, in Jan or Feb. Yeah.
I'll definitely look out for that one. No, congratulations on the album, my brother. It's a start of great things. To have a debut like that's already making so much waves with so many artists. That because the more artists you work on, because people only want to work with you if they believe in you. So you are getting all those stamps of approval about all the artists that you've been working on. And I think that's something great to sort of start with. Anyway, let's continue with our questions. Question number 2 is the flip side of that now.
Right.
What has been your biggest L? And from that, what was the biggest lesson?
Biggest L, no?
Life and career.
I don't really think, I don't know if it's my optimism speaking or whatnot, but last year I experienced like a series of 2 things in my life that weren't really like a L, but like really felt like it, But like it's not even an L, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna be doing like a misjustice to the question.
But here's the thing. I think that what we're trying to highlight with this question is not that you took an L, but I took an L, but something came of it, right? It didn't. So it's like reframing it, because a lot of times people don't find it difficult to talk about what their wins are, and they don't find it difficult sometimes to talk about what their L's are. But what forces you to start thinking is to say, wait, when this thing happened to me, what changed in me? What clicked? What lesson did I get from this thing that was a challenge? And I think that's where I want your thinking to be as you think about this question. Okay, this thing happened, it happened. But when it happened, what have we learned? How have we changed? How have we grown?
I would definitely still tap into the same thing that I was trying to say. I don't feel like it's necessarily like an L, but like I went through it, you know.
Yeah.
And that was like last year. So I did renovations.
Yeah.
I think late May type of thing. I started renovations 4 days in. You know me, DIY.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey, always been.
I build my own things. I like doing things
Yeah.
myself. You know what I mean? Also, I'm very technical, so I actually enjoy it. So I was just doing renovations by the studio there, you know, and by my space. And 4 days in, I don't know what happened, you know. And then my thumb is like this huge, you know. And it's not like some typical injury or whatever the case. Like my thumb's now huge. There's no door there. Like the walls are broken.
No.
I'm not done, bro. Like
You can't work.
I can't continue working. And I'm like, this is not that serious. This is not that serious. A day and a half in, like now I'm immobilized. It's affecting my whole body. It's an infection. It's an actual infection. You know, I go to the doctor's like, they think a spider bit me. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Also know black people want to look at it in their own way.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm on some, for me, I'm on some, it's possibly anything.
Yeah.
It does not
It
matter.
could be
I
anything,
acknowledge everything.
Yeah.
It's life. Everything exists. But like what actually happened then, so now I'm immobilized for like the next 2 weeks. I'm unable to function. Studio.
You can't work in the studio.
I can't do nothing.
You can't even improve.
Bro, I'm sleeping for the next 2 weeks. You know what I mean? I'm sleeping. And that affected so many of my relationships. You know, music people that I work with. It affected so many relationships because half of them actually thought I was ignoring them on purpose. You know, and I had mentioned that I'm actually renovating or whatever the case type of thing in studio, you know, and I noticed that when I started recovering with the messages that I was getting on the phone, you know, but like I understand things, you know, and sometimes I feel like maybe I shouldn't. I had a chat with a very close friend of mine. It's like, hey man, something's like are not meant to be understood like that.
You're too understanding, man.
You know, it's like, nah, dog, sometimes you're too nice, you know, but I understand things because I'm like, these people are invested in their craft, you know, and whether you're sick or not, but like they're still within their own self and they're trying to create something and you are delaying them. You know what I mean? And I didn't realize that my presence being gone for 2 weeks is that impactful to the people that I work with. You know what I mean? So I went through that whole thing and then we did a theater show as I was recovering. So now there's no more pain. It's better. It's open, blah, blah. We did a theater show. The following day, we were shooting a music video. Mangvukek saying how I'm feeling swag. Long story very short, how me COVID. You know what I mean? Now throughout the video, I'm having all these symptoms. Everything they said about COVID, I have. I'm sleeping in the car. For the next 2 weeks after that, bed, immobilized.
Yo, so now it's a month now.
Now, say poorly, son.
Yeah, so we need
COVID.
the one.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I went through that. You know what I mean? And I have all the proof. That's what I love. Okay, cool. That happens. I recover. And then I start marketing Amasi Spring Party. You know what I mean? I start marketing. I talk to everyone that's assisting me, working with me there. Blah, blah, blah. Amasi Spring Party becomes a blast, a success. But financially, bro, there's a car that was sold to help host that shandy. I lost all that money. You know what I mean? I lost all that money. When I woke up the following day, all the messages that I could get is like, bro, what a great night, what a great night, what a great night. And I'm thinking to myself, I lost so much money. I lost so much money, like back to square one. You know, trying to push this Amasi thing, trying to give people an experience and whatnot. I really stand for it. So I lost all that money, blah, blah, blah. That was an L, you know, but I learned a great deal you know, from it alone.
Even business-wise, hosting that event, I'm sure there's lessons that you can take forward. Yes.
So that borderline kind of introduced me to anxiety. I never understood anxiety. You know? I understood it via, you know, like what it actually means by
academically,
But like I didn't really understand what people actually go through when they go through anxiety. And I actually went through that whole process of anxiety, you know, and started realizing, oh snap, like anxiety is actually borderlining depression. So when people say they're depressed, it's not a decision, it's not a choice. Like
Yeah, you
something
don't need to
happened
be.
that they don't have control over. So now that's why I speak of intensity.
Yeah.
You know, because that was also me after recovering from that, you know, Isandla,
Yeah.
COVID,
as well. Yeah.
and I didn't have enough time. I went intense.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
went hella intense. And then after going hella intense like that, you know, the party happened. You know, it was a success.
Yeah.
It was an investment that did not bring back money, but like
It paid itself in other ways.
yes, type of thing. But that gave me anxiety after that.
Yeah.
You know, anxiety I can't control.
Now I can't try anything.
And that came from intensity.
Yeah.
So the lesson from that
Yeah.
was less intensity, more consistency.
More consistent.
You know,
See,
just do things without expecting.
That's
Just do them
such an
right the
important
best way
lesson.
possible. And yeah, that's the story. That's why I'm like, it's not really like an L,
Yeah.
but it applies.
But
in
it's
that.
such an important lesson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question. If you were doing what you're doing now, what would you be doing?
An architect.
You'd be an architect.
Yeah.
You have architect on your Facebook status, man.
Yeah, I went to school to be an architect.
Architect. Okay.
Yeah, I'm naturally. I don't even think that's a talent, bro. Like I'm really good at that. Like from
Yeah.
the first time they taught me that.
Oh,
in
but you
grade
went to a
6.
technical high school as well.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
grade 6, technical drawing,
Yeah.
or whatever it is, was introduced to us in technology or
Yeah.
whatever the case.
Yeah, it wasn't tech.
Like I stood out in class immediately. You know, like I was always like the number one student type
Yeah.
of thing when it comes to technical drawing, you know.
Beautiful.
Not the other languages. The other languages are we out here, you know what I mean? But like that for me was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You know, technical drawing is like math. You
Yeah.
need to practice it.
Yeah.
I never practiced it at all, ever.
It just came natural.
I was always top 3, if not top 1.
Wow.
All the time. And then after that, I was like, it's obvious. I need to be an architect. You know?
Yeah.
And I got a bursary. Then I started studying architect. So I was definitely going to be an architect. But
Nah.
it's not in my personality to chill in the office and.
No.
You know.
No, you don't have to chill in the office. My brother's an architect. There's no chilling in the office.
Uh,
He's working. He's up there in
I'm
the
supposed to have a
field.
conversation because I am planning to go in there. Like
Really? Yeah, you
around
can still go in there.
45, 49 years old.
Yeah. Oh, 49. You have a target.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to do a couple of stuff that really require me to do while I'm
Yeah.
still fresh energy, whatnot, to do that
Yeah.
part. And then I'm going to go back to it. Yeah. I
Fantastic.
just know, Guti, there's maybe a license or two that I need to
Yeah.
update, fresh course,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then we can operate.
Okay.
Yeah, but I definitely
But
be
you
an
can
architect.
self-teach as well. I don't know about the world of architecture, but I'm sure you can learn certain concepts.
No wonder this
But-
place looks so dope, bro. Like immediately, Mange, and I'm like, dog. Like my eyes are telling me other things because I have an eye for this, dog.
Yeah.
It's like such a peaceful space.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
No, man, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you so much for sharing your story. We got into a lot of personal things, man. And,
Yeah.
and I appreciate you for sharing that with us. And
Sure.
all the best with the album, man.
Thank you.
Do you have any closing remarks before we officially end the show? Any advice for people that are listening?
I mean, so this is what I'm into right now, currently. Meditation.
Meditation.
And for me, it's not about telling people what I'm doing, but like I realize we're in a space, especially as South Africans,
Yeah.
we're in a space where we're not centered. You know, it's very easy to now start arguing with the person for someone to misunderstand you and whatnot, and it's happening throughout the country. So let's get to understand ourselves. You know, the most important thing that's actually happening is inside. And we're too focused on outside. You know what I mean? My boyfriend, my girlfriend is doing this. You know what I mean? My nigga screwed me here. My career is not like,
Yeah.
you know, it's all outside,
External things,
you know,
yeah.
and we judge ourselves according to what's happening outside. But like what's most important is inside. So align, you
Yeah.
know, spiritually, mentally,
Yeah.
physically, and emotionally.
yeah.
Make sure you're in the same place. You know, you don't have to be the most buffest guy, the most meditating person or whatnot, but like just make sure these things are in line and you are centered and you are living in the present because you have no control over the past and you have no control over the future. The past only brings you depression
Yeah.
and the future only brings you anxiety.
Anxiety.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just focus on that. The only real thing that's important is the experience of life and the journey.
Beautiful.
Luma ngecareer yami and whatnot, like it's not really that, you
Yeah.
know, it's life.
It's live. That's
Just
why
make
this is
sure-
called 9 to Live.
You're not
not a mistake.
Yes,
man.
9 to life. Yes. And that's the reality, you know. So let's live and not
Yeah.
survive.
Ah, beautiful.
Yeah.
That's the perfect place to end it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, whoever you think might get value from this exercise. Thank you for tuning in again. And also go stream Thoughts Become Things by Shakespeare. Thank you very much for tuning in. Cheers. Killing the game. Did you hear the pop on Nuvuyo's episode? You didn't watch. You see, you're making demands and you don't even watch.
Dope,
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, dope host, bro.
Thank you so much, man.